ground floor down 5 levels. All of the elevators had PTL, push buttons. So we had a lot of equipment in there, and I used to go into Otis. On B2, second floor level, was all Otis in the parking area down there where they had all their equipment and maintenance stuff. So I used to be in there quite often. I had to tour the structure of the place by one of the big wigs up there, the elevator guy, Otis people, told me all the trouble they had getting the things to run. The one that goes 100, one elevator goes all the way up to the top on both of them. Anyway, I experienced something good with the helmet on underneath the elevator when it was coming down, which was quite an experience.
Sure.
Because the guy says, lean forward. I said, lean forward. We were standing at the bottom of the shaft, looking up through the whole building, and down comes the elevator. And when that wind of that thing coming down, it almost blew us over. I said, you didn't give me enough warning. But anyway, that was a thrilling thing to see. But to see that, and then of course, damage to the first bombing did not destroy those parts. They found they didn't have to touch them. They were all functioning, even though the jambs were bent and the doors were knocked off. They didn't have to touch them. And I mean, to highlight that, not us, but Otis, to highlight that in their article, that the PTL didn't need any work on them. And that is some advertising that we didn't have to pay for. Another one that was really good was on 34th Street, the subway system and all that, the Port Authority bus terminal, which is a major route for coming from Jersey into New York. There's 4 levels of trains and buses going across from New Jersey to New York, back and forth, commuting. We did all the escalators in there, and that was a requirement where they needed the door would be snap shut. They couldn't find a key that would do it. They had a medical key that you could open it with a key, you could close it with a key, but you couldn't open it with a key and then slam it shut. So I made that little gadget to go on a switch, and that gave us the whole job. I went into a meeting with Port Authority bus terminal people and Otis, and sat in a meeting, showed them the part. They all looked at it, shook their heads. Go with it. And it's basically the same with the escalator control for somebody has a need, you make something to fit that need. It was so good for New York City housing. Most of the elevator companies that built those projects over the years weren't even in business anymore. So when the whole place was busted or whatever, they couldn't get parts. So they'd have to cut out a new hole, put a whole thing in there. We just made something to fit labor costs down to nothing.
Right.
They just put them right on there.